Hey, what's up guys? Today we're back again with a bit more of a serious conversation on Clash Royale regarding the evolutions, the update, and of course, level 15. A lot of the Clash Royale community has been asking for new ways to play the game, and evolutions are going to give us exactly that. When they're properly balanced, they're going to unlock new strategies and new ways of having fun that were never previously possible. But unfortunately, level 15, that's added a lot more controversy into the mix, and we have to talk about it. B-Rad brought up a point that people don't want to upgrade to level 15 because they have to collect either 25,000 common cards, 250 legendary cards, or 100 champions to convert to the elite wild cards for one upgrade. And that upgrade will just get you the same interactions that you had at level 14 versus level 14, but if you don't upgrade to the next level, your level 14 musketeers are going to start dying to level 15 fireballs. And it feels like it forces you to grind for what you already had, and in his words, pointless grinding. I agree, and in its current form, I think that level 15 is bad for the game. I hate the core concept of adding level 15 to the game, and the progression system when you do add it takes way too long. Level 15 is not going to be a part of ranked gameplay for 6 months, meaning that level 14 is going to be the max level on Path of Legends for 6+ months, and you have a lot of time to upgrade your cards. The issue is you can only upgrade 2 cards a month if you're just playing every day and not spending that much money. So eventually, 6 months from now, we're going to have a solid 12 cards upgraded, which is the equivalent of 1.5 decks of unique cards, which you could say maybe you're upgrading a lot of other win conditions. You can build like 2 or 3 decks. It's going to be difficult to make that happen though. And if you grind super hard and you're able to upgrade more cards than that, maybe you're able to get like 3 or 4 decks fully maxed out at 6 months from now. And the point is, overall, no matter how long you grind, no matter how hard and committed you are to the game, you're going to have less options for you available at the end of this update at 6 months when level 15 is introduced than you do currently. And that feels terrible as a player that has every single card maxed out, that has paid a lot of money to the game, that is also very committed. Like, I want to feel like I'm gaining things from the update and not going backward and losing variety, losing my options, and losing the potential of fun, because that's what the game's supposed to be. I want to be able to play all of my decks competitively, and I want to be able to mess around with whatever I want when I want to. I do appreciate that they didn't put level 15 in the ladder immediately, giving us time to react and hopefully them time to make changes. Also, they didn't lock evolutions behind level 15 like they did with champions. So objectively, from that standpoint, that part of the update was a lot better. However, there still isn't anything behind level 15, so there's really no real reason for us to upgrade our cards besides like a fancy number. There really isn't anything that changed. There is one cool aspect about the level 15 wildcards that they added to the game. Basically, the elite wildcards allow you to focus on upgrading the cards that you want compared to what typically happens from 1 to 14, where you're just given cards from a chest and hoping you get the cards that you want. It's still not enough to help the progression, and there needs to be more that's done. But if you only care about leveling up one deck, 8 cards, you can do that with elite wildcards by the end of the 6 months. Even as a free-to-play player, that's possible. The problem is you're locked with that deck for another 6 months before you can upgrade an entirely new deck. Playing the same deck for 6 months and not switching, that doesn't sound like fun for me, and that is the main problem with this update. If you're only able to play one deck ever when you are a fully maxed player now and you've been able to play everything, that seems like a massive downgrade. And even though level 15 is not going to be added into ranked gameplay for the next 6 months, this is still an important topic to talk about now. If you have a huge problem looming over you in the future and you don't talk about it, and then it just gets closer and closer, you're going to have to deal with it eventually, and then it could be a game-ruining experience. So you might be wondering, why are they adding level 15 into the mix? Well, they've got a problem that they want to fix. If you take a look at their tweets and all the communication that the team has had, they say that players quit when they lose the feeling of progression. When casual players are fully maxed out and can't climb further in rank or in trophy road, they don't feel like they're accomplishing anything, and then they just quit the game. For ranked players like me, I get a lot of satisfaction from getting better at the game, improving my rank and my skill, but casuals, when they can't climb any further and the game's frustrating, they're just like, nah, peace out, I'm done. Clash Royale introduced more levels as their solution. So let's improve on their solution, because it's not what I want, and if you're watching the video, maybe it's not what you want either. The first solution is by far the simplest, making progression way more manageable by adjusting the conversion rates. 25,000 common cards for one upgrade feels a bit unfair, and it takes way too long to grind. 100 champions, same thing. People will want to get back to the highest level so they can remain competitive, and taking a long time just is a bad thing for the update. Speeding up the progression will make level 15 less of a grind and feel a lot more fair. The next solution is focusing on compelling endgame mechanics that are worth leveling up that aren't tied to card levels. For instance, you could have different princess arrows, king tower animations, or even unique customization or symbols on your side of the arena that are only unlockable at a certain level. While not changing the gameplay, people would still have an incentive to level up to flex on their opponents. You can even do this with emotes and banners that get progressively cooler, or maybe some aspects of the clan that you can level up as a team. The main point is focusing on leveling up different things in card levels that are compelling and endgame content, so people always want to keep playing. And to all the viewers that are watching this, please spam the comment section with things that you would want to upgrade and things that would make you want to keep playing. Because if we can break away from the idea of having to upgrade our cards for progression and focusing on something that everyone appreciates, that would be a massive win for Clash Royale. The third solution I thought was completely off the table, but when I was in Finland, having ranked gameplay at tournament standard was open for discussion. I talked to Drew about this. It was absolutely incredible to hear, and I think this would be one of the best things for the game. So if they're actually open to this and it does end up happening, this would be my favorite thing in Clash Royale. I'm not going to edit anything. I'm just going to show you guys the entire 5 or 4 minute clip in its entirety. So yeah, here it is. And the entire 30-minute interview will be uploaded on my second channel about a week from now without any editing. So if you're interested, stay tuned for that.
Another big thing for the community and me is like I play on a lower level account sometimes, and I got like not as many cards to be able to beat those over level 15 Mega Knight players. Like when you continue to add more levels, is there any way that you guys would ever consider doing something in ranked gameplay where you don't actually have to have all the cards maxed out? Or
yeah, so we've been discussing like in the future it would be like in an ideal world it would be great to like further separate the Trophy Road and the Path of Legends, and like have Trophy Road where all the wild stuff goes in, like all the like kind of like cool stuff that we're experimenting on that like maybe a bit broken but it's really really fun. That can go in Trophy Road, and then like Path of Legends would be this like, you know, hardcore only like authentic Clash Royale experience without this like wacky stuff that's like maybe a bit imbalanced. And and then the eventual plan would be for that to be like, you know, capped at like level 11 or something, so it's kind of like that's the ranked experience, right?
That'd be
and then
so cool.
But then to get all like unlock all the new cards and all the cool stuff, you maybe still have to play Trophy Road, so that you're not just like, you know, stuck doing like only ranked kind of thing. You can like if you want to expand your like roster and stuff, you go play Trophy Road and unlock stuff and so.
That'd be really cool, because for me, like at least on my mini account, I don't always have the cards leveled up that I need for the meta. And then it's harder to push for like Path of Legends if you don't have those cards and you're like can't experiment with different decks. That at least for me, that would be one of the coolest things in the game to have that. Still, like obviously for most people that want to level up their stuff if they're going to be pushing Trophy Road, I feel like that's the best of both worlds.
I think that's the thing. It's getting that like having a place for both things to exist is like the ideal. So because we still want people to like, you know, you don't want to take away that like progress that people have made with their decks. Like if they've got a card to level 15, they should be able to, or well, level 14 elite level when the level 15 the update comes out. Like you don't want to like be like, okay cool, you got your card to level 15, but you can't use level 15 cards in this mode, and then people will be like, why? But I like using it. I actually was very surprised. I saw that in 2v2 when we made it in the event tab, we put it back to level 11. Like
people were angry.
People were like, I want to use my level cards, and I was like, that's such an odd thing, because I assume people would be like, this is great, you know, like I love everything being on a level playing field, but then you get those, and I totally understand it, like people who are like, no, I like my high level cards, I like stomping on people and stuff, and it's like, that's fair enough. And I think it was really eye opening for me that there were people that did not like the level cap in event tabs, and I was like, it makes sense. Like it does make sense, because like I think Shane mentioned about like having these like different areas in the game, having different levels and stuff might be a bit confusing, and I think that's kind of like falls into that. But if it's very clear, like you know, if it's like ranked is capped, this is not capped. Like
I love that too, because then I don't have to memorize different spell values anymore.
Exactly,
it's just level 11, we're chilling.
I'm just like,
Like everything about that's cool, because like casual players will be the ones that are like, I can't use my OP levels anymore. And in level 15, whatever in Trophy Road, they can just do that. And then the ranked players will be like, hey, my levels are really like not great. I want to be able to have higher level. I want to experiment with all these different cards. they go into ranked and then they can do that.
Yeah.
It's like, that's probably the best of both worlds.
Yeah,
so.
and that's where you will see like the real high level play as well. So you want, you know, giving these like giving the best Clash Royale players, like giving them like the ability to play like all these different decks and stuff from like you know, from like a lower levels is like, that's like essential to like develop these new like metas and new ways to play. So
yeah, hopefully that is able to happen.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely something that we like are thinking about. So
this isn't guaranteed, but if they were able to work on this and guarantee it, this would fix all of my complaints about level 15. In fact, if they made a ranked tournament standard, it'd make the game more fair, less pay to win, and overall more competitive. Everyone has the ability to level up their cards to level 11 without spending any money. So if ranked Path of Legends becomes tournament standard level 11, it'll be a safe haven where you won't be losing because of your card levels, which is the main complaint in Clash Royale, so fixing that would be a huge win, while still giving people an opportunity to level up their cards in Trophy Road if they want to experience that level of progression. Since they're still talking about it, it might not be the fix. There's a lot of other solutions that we talked about earlier. They could also revamp level 15 progression, which was the first fix. Or just not focusing on card levels and working on other leveling up content instead, which was the second solution. Any of these three solutions would work, but level 15 as is has to change. And after meeting with a Clash Royale team in person, I can tell you these guys are extremely passionate about what they do care about the game, and they want to listen to what we have to say. So please give them as much constructive feedback as you possibly can without insulting them as people. When you don't like something, let them know, hey, this update is bad and this is how I'd fix it. Instead of saying you're bad and you don't care, what are you doing type of thing, because that's just not productive for conversation. This is not an us versus them situation. There's a clear problem, let's work together to fix it and communicate how much this matters to us so they don't stick with the current fix of level 15 as it is right now. Evolutions are fun, fresh, and exciting, and level 15 is absolutely awful as is. So if they fix most of the level problems, allowing us to enjoy the evolutions, this will be an incredible update. It's extremely important that we continue this conversation with the Clash Royale developers and team until one of the three solutions, or maybe even a fourth one that I wasn't even thinking about, is actually implemented. I'll be reading every comment on the video today. I love you guys, and thank you for taking the time to watch this. I'll see you in the next one.